after almost getting killed by her rich in-laws. Grace sits on the steps of the Lamu's mansion as it burns down. Soon the police and the paramedics arrive and try to ask her some questions, but she has a panic attack and passes out. The paramedics immediately take her away. During the ambulance ride, Grace stops responding. As the paramedics start doing CPR, Grace goes through the memories of what happened. On the night after her wedding, the Lomas family made her play a game of hide and seek in which they hunted her down. Their goal was to use her in an ancient ritual, but since she managed to survive until dawn, she won and the whole family exploded. After lots of effort from the paramedics, Grace finally wakes up. Later, Grace finds herself handcuffed to a hospital bed. Detective Bassett informs her that she's being detained under suspicion of murder and arson. 2 bodies were found in the house, and the blood on her wedding dress isn't hers. At that moment, Grace's sister, Faith, arrives. They haven't talked to each other in 7 years, but Faith is still Grace's emergency contact. Bassett decides to give the sisters a few minutes, but afterward, he'll have to take Grace to the station. As soon as he's gone, the sisters end up arguing about their relationship, and Grace is particularly hurt when she learns that Faith lived near her in New York, but never contacted her. Faith points out that Grace made it pretty clear she had no interest in being her big sister. She also wants to know what happened, but Grace thinks she wouldn't believe her. When Faith is about to leave, Grace decides to tell her everything that happened, including the fact that her own husband stabbed her and that she saw. Discover more SEO optimization tools, language translation, tool-free transcription Servicia Ghost at the end. Meanwhile, Millionaire Chester is watching a report about an ongoing war. He makes a call to approve a ceasefire, and in just seconds, the reporter announces that the fight is over. At that moment, he's visited by the lawyer, who informs him that the whole Lamus family is dead and the bride survived. Chester orders his butler to find his children while he texts other families that are part of the same Satanist cult to tell them that the seat of power is up for grabs. In China, Chun Sing immediately calls her lawyers. In Spain, Agnosio hugs his assistant in happiness. In New Jersey, Bill celebrates by taking illegal sugar. In England, Viraj finds his brother Madhu in a club and they also celebrate. Moments later, twins Ursula and Titus come to see their father, Chester. They think the seat of power should go directly to them, but Chester reminds them that's against the rules. When Titus begs, Richard slaps him and tells him to be a man. He shows them the master ring and tells them that it mustn't leave their family, so he wants them to win the seat back. After Ursula promises they will, Chester offers them a pillow and tells them to do it. The twins grab the pillow together and press it against Chester's face to kill him. At the hospital, Bassett is taking a handcuffed Grace to the station. Suddenly, Bill appears in the corridor and throws a knife into Bassett's neck, instantly killing him. Then, Bill pulls a second knife and comes after Grace, who immediately runs away with Faith. They get stuck in a dead end, so they go back and hide behind the reception desk. Bill keeps looking for them, but when he checks behind the desk, the sisters are already gone. They're currently hiding in a room, so they wait until Bill goes down the corridor to come out. They sneak around and see Bill again, but he quickly leaves to keep searching. So, the sisters return to the corridor to reach Bassett's body. After Grace takes Bassett's gun, the sisters try to leave, but Bill quickly blocks them. When Grace tries to shoot, Bill pushes her hand to disarm her and hits her to bring her down. Then, he gets ready to stab her, but at that moment, his body explodes. While Faith freaks out, Grace returns to Bassett's body to get the handcuff keys. After freeing her wrists, Grace opens the evidence bag and takes back her blood-stained wedding dress to put it on. The sisters head to the elevator to leave, but the lawyer appears and throws a gas grenade to knock them out. He explains Bill died because he tried to kill Grace before the game began, which is against the rules. Meanwhile, the twins arrive at the family resort, and Ursula cancels a wedding under the excuse of a gas leak. The bride freaks out, so Titus insults her and kicks everyone out with less manners than his sister. An announcement on the speakers tells the rest of the resort guests to leave as well. The twins bump into their cousin, Kip, who looks forward to the big meeting. Moments later, The twins welcome the rest of the council, which hasn't met since 1963. Agnosio arrives with his son, Felipe, and Chun Sing brings her freeloading son, Chung Fu. Lastly, Viraj and Madhu arrive with Madhu's wife, Martina, right before a helicopter brings the sisters and a lawyer. Minutes later, Grace and Faith are muzzled and tied to chairs in the council room. The lawyer brings a huge book and explains he's the only attorney for the organization, which is led by a council of the heads of 6 families. Since Grace's in-laws exploded because she won the game and Bill's whole family exploded as punishment for cheating, there are 4 families left. The council has a seat of power represented by the master ring, and it's up for grabs because a bride has won the game. Grace triggered a rare company clause that allows her to compete for the high seat, too. After Grace is unmuzzled for questions, the lawyer wonders why Grace told her in-laws she had no family when Faith exists. But instead of answering, Grace says she doesn't want the chair. However, the lawyer tells her that she's forced to participate because the council controls the world. She'll have to play hide-and-seek again against the heads of the 4 families. And if someone kills her, they win the seat. Grace can win if she survives until dawn again. When Grace tries to refuse to participate again, they threaten to kill Faith, so she agrees to play. Faith is unmuzzled, too, and complains about being dragged into this, since she hadn't seen her sister in 7 years. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.